we subsidize regular gasoline in this country. You know at what rate? At what price? $20 billion for 5 years. Our leader and our government subsidize fuel for those years, brothers and sisters. Never ever forget that. But you have to understand that as soon as this crazy man, the PNM, arrived on the scene, what did he do? What did he do, brothers and sisters? Rowley increased the price of gasoline as he came on the scene in October. We met it at $150 per liter when we came in 2010. We left it at $1.50 per liter in September of 2015. Brothers and sisters, as Rowley arrived on our compound, he immediately increased diesel from 150 to 172 per liter. And then come April, that was in 2015, October, the man now come. He presented the first budget. Licks, punishment. Brothers and sisters, within a few months, in April, 4-5 months later, he gone from $1.72 per liter to you know where? $1.98. That is in April. You ain't breathe properly. In September, he gone from $1.98. That was in September 2016. From $1.98 to $2.30 per liter. The man not satisfied with punishing us. So come October 2017, he gone from $2.30 to $3.41 per liter. And brothers and sisters, today, April the 19th, midnight, April the 19th, the man gone from $3.41 to $3.91. So he came at $1.50. We left. We met when we came in 2010, $1.50. Never, never, never increase diesel for poor people. That man came on the scene, and within hours, licks, punishment. Today, we are paying what? $3.91 for fuel. Brothers and sisters, it didn't stop there. When we came, super gasoline, 99% of the people who drive cars in this country, they use super. You know that. 5 years, UNC. 5 years, People's Partnership. 5 years, Kamla. You know what? We met super at $2.70 per liter. I want to repeat, $2.70. Before he could breathe, he gone to $3.11, Rowley. Moved from $2.70 per liter to $3.11. Then he gone from $3.11 to $3.58. No breathing. The man, Rowley and the PNM hate poor people. They hate ordinary people. They hate black people. He gone from $3.58 down. $3.58. And he gone to $3.97 per liter. Then he gone from $3.97 per liter to $4.97 per liter. All that in a few years, you know. And then, brothers and sisters, from $4.97, April the 19th, midnight, change the pump. You and I who drive car, and we are using super, it gone to what? $5.97 per liter. Brothers and sisters, when we were there, we use the monies to share the wealth. Whatever revenues that we gained, we give it back to the poor, to the ordinary people, because the oil and the gas belong to you and me and the family and your children. So we give it back with lower prices. So you know what happened? We subsidize for 5 years using $20 billion to keep down the cost of living, to make sure your quality of life was not disrupted. Rowley has disrupted our way of life. He has disrupted our quality of life. He has lowered our standard of living. I say, brothers and sisters, in Diego Martin tonight, we must disrupt Rowley life. And we are not talking about the bullet. We are talking about the ballot.
Yes, ma'am.
We are going to use this index finger and disrupt the PNM whenever they call the blasted local general elections in this country. And whenever they call the general election, we say, get thee, Satan. Brothers and sisters, I want to give you two small examples to drive home this point. Many of us would know about the TIDA, the wet man. The wet man. You know somebody who have a TIDA in 2015 when we were in office, before we left. They were paying what? You could have full your TIDA and pay only $100 rather and $40, and your TIDA full 52 liters, and you're gone. Under Rowley today, that same TIDA, $310 as $170 increase, or 121% increase between 2015 and now. I want to give you an next example. Big Maxi Taxi, Mitsubishi, Rosa, 29-seater, 100-liter tank capacity under Kamla. Under Kamla, a Maxi Taxi driver driving a Rosa, 100-liter tank capacity, could fill up his tank for $150. $150. Brothers and sisters, today, that same Rosa costing the Maxi Taxi driver and owner $391, or close to $400. A 161% increase. This is a criminal decision taken by the government. And you know why? The Dwen from Maraval, the midget from Maraval, this man say he cannot find $2 billion to subsidize gas, super and diesel. So you know what? You have to pay, and we have to pay. You could imagine that criminal increase kerosene from $1.50 per liter to $3.50 per liter for ordinary people. And this man and his government says they love black people and they love poor people. Why would you do that? Brothers and sisters, These are examples. But I want to tell you something very serious here tonight. They can't subsidize you. They can't subsidize me. They can't subsidize we. Brothers and sisters, I ain't telling tales out of school, you know. I have invoices here. I have performer invoices in my possession, where in April of 2020, when they were punishing us, they were subsidizing Venezuela. They imported from Italy a plant in Italy called Augusta. 150,000 barrels of gasoline. It arrived in Trinidad. They put them in the storage tanks at Paria. You know how much we paid for 1 barrel of fuel premium out of Italy? We the taxpayers, $39.87. We re-exported that to a company called ES Euro Shipping, a company owned by a fellow called Wilmer Riperti. He and Modoro in bed. Let's go to bed together.
And Rowley.
And you know what? They were able to sell that oil, that gas, that they paid $39.87 for $38.50. Let me tell you something. We end up losing as a country close to $344,000 US on that shipment. So you could subsidize Modoro because the gas went to Venezuela. But you can't subsidize we. Brothers and sisters, we are saying to you tonight, before I close, we are saying to you tonight, in the month of January, I want to tell you, and Anil, I want to tell Anil too, we imported premium gasoline, 62 million liters of premium gasoline. That is in the month of January of 2022. You know how much we use? Remember, you're using foreign exchange, US dollars that you can't get, and I can't get, and the micro, small businessman can't get. You can't finance your child if that child is going to a university in America because you have no US dollars. You know what that was doing? Them imported 62 million liters of premium gasoline. You know how much we used on? 10 million. The question that we have to ask Rowley and Imbert and Stuart Young, where the next 52 million liters of premium gasoline has gone. In the month of January, we imported 114 million liters of diesel. Anil, we utilize only 80 million liters gone. And Trinidad and Tobago does not know where it gone, who it gone to, how much we getting for it. We want Rowley to tell this country if he is breaching US sanctions by exporting our diesel and our premium to Venezuela. That is what we want tonight from him. And the last thing I want to leave with you tonight, kerosene. Anil, we are importing every month in January of 2022, we imported 38 million liters of kerosene. You know how much we use? 9 million. Where do you guys going? Rowley must answer. Stuart Young must answer. Imbert must answer. You see all of these things I just raised here? You know how much it costs us? Close to $1 billion TT that we could have used to subsidize you and me, but they're taking this. There's no evidence. We have no information. Everything is a secret order. It's a mafia gang that running our country. We don't know what's going on. Brothers and sisters, let me close by telling you, this place under Rowley has enveloped into darkness. The only political force in this country that can shed, that can produce, that can provide rays of light, rays of sunlight to bring an end to this darkness is the United National Congress. It is the United National Congress. Long live the United National Congress. Long live Sister Kamla Prasad Bisasa. Long live the people of Diego Martin. Forward ever, backward never. Forward ever, backward never. Forward ever, backward never. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Make some noise for Senator, the Honorable Wade Mark. My wonderful, brilliant, strong, independent, ignorant mother, God rest her soul. One strong, short East Indian woman wearing sari every day. She would never accept disrespect of women like what is going on now under the PNM. Fitzgerald Hines, the Minister of National Security, says in the Parliament on Hansard that women who are brutally raped and abused by predators and vile men, that they are profiting from their victimhood, and therefore he and the PNM cannot catch rapists. If any woman votes for the PNM, you have to check yourself. You really do. You have to look at yourself in the mirror. I have two beautiful daughters, one older and one young. And I teach them to be stronger, brighter, talk more, be smarter, more successful, tougher, more diligent than the father ever could be. Because women are powerful, and that is not no joke. Any man who afraid woman, he's a mama pool, Rowley. He's a mama pool, Forrest. He's a mama pool, Ethelbert. All you have no shame. You have to give Jack they have many things only to take from man. Because successful marriage means that a strong woman put up with a worthless man. All men worthless, especially when they're younger. But when they get older, they get wise and they understand the pain and the hurt that they put in on their wife. So they cool themselves. But not Rowley. He making children at 65. That man's sick. The man don't even know how to wrap it. He get COVID not through his eye and nose and mouth, you know. You know how that man get COVID? Bring him to the platform now. A woman who has been fighting for people since she was a teenager. Charity is her work. She loves human beings. A mother who puts her children and her family first and loves other children as she loves her own. A hardworking, brilliant, intelligent, fiery lady who will be the next representative for Diego Martin West when she put a curtail on Rowley. Rowley had to go. Rowley had to go. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha Walker.
Rowley have to go. Diego Martin. Rowley have to go. Diego Martin. Rowley have to go. You have to go. Good evening to our honorable political leader, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar. To my colleagues, our online audience, and to you, the people of Diego Martin.
Yes.
When I first dawned a political platform, it was right here in Diego Martin. In that speech, I spoke about the hurt I felt of having to live away from my family home. In fact, just recently, one of my supporters met the famous Auntie Jenny from my first speech. I lamented on the whole hotspot issue, wanting to raise my daughters in an area where the system wouldn't judge them just by their address. Today, that pain has only gotten worse. Today, I feel the pain of so many others. Persons selling off everything and migrating because they see no hope for Trinidad and Tobago under Rowley. Leaving their homes behind, many leaving their siblings, their parents, and some are even leaving their children. Today, I feel the pain of families who cannot migrate. I feel the pain of the children who cannot leave and find safe dwelling. Today, I feel the pain of Kevin Spring's mother. Kevin was supposed to sit SCA in March, but instead, he was shot and killed while washing cars for money. Kevin kept a dream book. He wanted out. He wanted better, but his life was snatched from him, not because he didn't choose wisely, but because he simply lived on the wrong street. Keith Christopher Rowley. Kevin lived on Cemetery Street. Kevin lived in your constituency. His name was Kevin. He never sat SCA, and you did not care. Do you care about the youths in Covine who have fallen into the hands of gangs because your government had no real plan for them during the pandemic? Yes, you care about them as much as you cared about Semyon Daniel and Anthony Francois. Do you even know that last week the residents of Big Yard came together to celebrate the 3-year anniversary of little Naomi Nelson? Do you care about anything else other than money and power? To be honest, I am torn. I am torn because we had a choice. We, the people of Diego Martin, had an opportunity to do better, to see that we deserve better, and we missed it. So part of me wants to say like Sparrow, we like it so we get what we deserve. But the better side of me knows that much of what we think, or how we vote, or how we do not vote in the case of Diego Martin West, is because of the psychological games played by the PNM from the very inception. Let me give you an example of how these people get into our heads. I just mentioned several children, right, who've died under the PNM administration. Do you know what PNM trolls on social media will want to say? That I politicizing the death of children. Tonight, I want you to reject their mind games. I want you to understand that everything is political. Tonight, I want you to stand firm in your resolve that a government's role is to enforce policies that will keep our children safe. So if our children are showing up dead on every street corner, then it is political, because these deaths could have been prevented had Keith Christopher Rowley cared, had he had the political will to protect them. That is the nasty mindset, mind games of the PNM. They care more about staying in power than empowering our people through truth. So they twist our actions, they bully anyone who dares stand up against them and fight for the people. Don't fall for it, Diego Martin. You know what's another one of their mind games? Something called voter suppression. Do you know what voter suppression means? It means that you think your vote for Marsha Walker will not count because it's a PNM safe seat, and so I wasted my time for lies. Tell them they lie. Let me tell you all why. 10,000 persons voted for Keith Christopher Rowley out of an electorate of 29,000 persons. This is not a PNM safe seat. This has never been and never will be a PNM safe seat. 17,000 people in Diego Martin West did not vote. This is a non-voting seat. It's not a PNM seat. It's a non-voting seat. Now that's the part of me that says, well, maybe we get what we deserve. Because it's not that you didn't have a choice. It is because, and I'm sorry to say it, you didn't care enough. You didn't care enough to dig past the propaganda. You didn't care enough to go past the headline. You did not care enough to understand that to our children, politics matter. You didn't care enough to see that UNC and PNM are not the same. You did not care enough to see that Kamla Prasad-Bissessar is a far better human being and a leader than Keith Rowley could ever be. She will beat him in his sleep. United National Congress is not the same as PNM. And tonight, I will demonstrate to you why we are not the same. Last week, the nation was once again sent into mourning when a report was laid in Parliament outlining the horrific stories of abuse in our homes, in our children's homes. The report confirmed that many of these homes receive state funding, even though they are not licensed. That meant that these homes could not meet the criteria. It meant that the state knew that these homes could not meet the criteria to take care of our children, and the state continued to fund it. Listen, you know what that is? That is state-sanctioned rape. That is state-sanctioned child abuse. Here's what is worse. The office of the Prime Minister knew about the report. In fact, let me answer some of the lies he come and tell all you before we reach here today. He say, but we knew, and we didn't sit on it and then do nothing. Since March last year, his minister come and say, junior minister, because the children's ministry could never have a whole ministry for themselves, right? But we could go there just now. Since March last year, Ayanna Webster Roy came and said, you know, I think something going on. As if UNC had not been telling you for the last 6 years, but she came and say, I think something going on since March last year. So from March 2021, you say, okay, let me commission a little task force, because you know it's always a task force, a task force, a task force. Then, in December, she received the report. But, I don't know. You could tell me what you think it was. I have no idea if Rowley say, well, here what? We need to make up a story to figure out why nearly half of the homes in this country are unlicensed. Let me make up a story. It's either that, or he was too busy tasting Carnival, tasting Tobago, and tasting God knows what, who, and where else. And that is why we needed to wait until April of 2022 for the report to be laid in Parliament. They want to tell me politics don't matter? Do you know data suggests, local data, that between 10 and 14 children are abused daily in Trinidad, and that's just those that are reported. Y'all do the math and tell me how many children would have been abused in the 5 months that PNM, that Keith Rowley and Ayanna Webster Roy sat on that report. How many of our children were lost in those 5 months? Don't tell me politics don't matter. Don't tell me don't make this political. The death of our children is very much political. It is in the hands. The blood of those children are on your hands. They're on your hands, Keith Rowley. Your hands. You did not care enough. In fact, you cared so little that if we go back to when Keith Rowley was forming the cabinet, he forgot on the whole to appoint somebody to deal with children. Is when the media say, so what about the girl in Tobago? She don't get a ministry too? And he said, oh shucks, that was an oversight. And he quick, put up. He said, well, you go do something. Be minister of children, right? But junior minister, because I can't handle our whole ministry just for children. That is to tell you how much Keith Rowley cares about your children, Bagatelle. That's how much Keith Rowley cares about your children, Covine. That's how much Keith Rowley cares about your children, Big Yard. Don't tell me politics don't matter. Don't tell me that. On Tuesday, the country lost yet another baby. Another baby was lost, and we have more questions than answers. Who in this PNM government is fighting for our children? Well, let me tell you, who fighting for them? Let me tell you why Kamla Persad-Bissessar will never be the same as Keith Rowley. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, since the Basdio Pandey days, was fighting legislation. She fought for the package of legislation that would pave the way for the Children's Authority. And then when Manning sit on it, when he sit and he do nothing on it, it was Kamla Persad-Bissessar, when she became Prime Minister, she operationalized the legislation that gave way to the Children's Authority. And when Keith Rowley came into power, from day one they mash it up. They mash it up. They never give enough resources. They mash it up. Don't tell me that Kamla and Keith is the same. Don't tell me Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Keith Rowley is the same. Never. Kamla Persad-Bissessar has dedicated her entire life to fighting for the children of our nation. They go Martin West. Tonight, I call on you to reject the lies. Oh, you know what's repetitive marketing? Repetitive marketing is when you see over and over, hey, you see that shoe? I like